Hey everybody, welcome back to the Carryandcut YouTube channel. And if you're new here, I sure do appreciate you stopping by and watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, also leave a comment down below. And if you would, check out our Instagram at Carryandcut. And we also did just make a new TikTok account. So if you want to, go over there and support us over there, you can. It's just go ahead and search up at Carryandcut and bring you right to it. So we're just getting started on that. Still pretty new to the whole TikTok deal, but my wife talked me into it. So here we go. Today, I got a pretty cool knife for you guys to take a look at, and this is actually coming from my good friend Stephen Weigel. So him and his little man Dom sent this over to me, and it is really do appreciate that. By the way, Stephen, this has been an awesome knife, and I do love carrying it. And this is my favorite colors. I'm a huge Buckeye fan, living over here in Central Ohio. Well, I'm in Southeast Ohio, but still, Buckeyes are a big part of the culture here in Ohio. And this really does, perfectly represent the colors right there. So we got like a scarlet and this, silver obviously, but scarlet and gray. So, Stephen, really do appreciate it. But this is the Finch Roadrunner. And, what we got here, we do have a steel frame, and we do have, it's called a Venom Jig Bone, this actual kind of inlay material in here. And it really does, it's pretty cool, really cool design. Really do like a lot of the Finch models they have. They have some awesome, more of like a modern traditional type, folders. Obviously, this is a frame lock. And we do have two means of deployment on there. We have the normal back flipper kind of deal, normal flipper. And we also have a front flipper that works exceptionally well also. We're looking at 154 cm on the blade. So that's pretty good stuff there. Really do like that. We got a nice hollow grind on the, nice hollow grind on the blade itself right there. Satin finish on it, which it is going to be like a fingerprint magnet, but this thing still is a really nice user. And it's got, with that hollow grind, it's really, really nice and slim, or at least thin, I guess you could say. This thing slices like a beast. This is some thicker paper too. And I've never put an edge on this one. I don't know if this is a factory edge, or if that's, or if Steven might have put his own on there. I know he likes to sharpen his knives up too. But this is definitely going to be a awesome, I kind of look at it as more of like a, gentlemanly knife. And that's, what I like to use it as. Is not my hard use folder or anything like that. I just like to carry this around on game day and show all my friends. It's got a really cool aesthetic look to it, And I'm going to, kind of call that, almost looks like a spear point, but I'm going to go ahead and say that's going to be like a drop point, somewhat blade shape right there. Really do like the overall. It's got a titanium pocket clip on it, which is really cool. Another really cool thing about these Finch knives is this actual Finch shield right here. You put a flashlight on that, and it's glow in the dark. So that's pretty cool little thing that some people don't know about Finch knives. But overall, let's go ahead and get some overall specs of this thing. Why don't we? So let's go ahead and lay it right there. Get the old roller out. I don't know if I mentioned or not, these are $145 on the, I just checked it from Blade HQ's website, so I'll make sure to link that down below. I did recently get a knife from Blade HQ. They sent me this sticker. I hate knives, just kidding. Can you imagine? That's pretty cool. So overall length is almost right at 7 3/4, just a hair under that one. Blade length is coming in at almost 3.5. We'll say 3.4. Cutting edge is right around 3 1/4, which is pretty good. I like that 3 1/4 inch size is my favorite size for an EDC knife. Let's go ahead and get a weight on this thing. I was looking at the blade stock thickness, and without actually looking at the spec sheet online, my calipers took a dump on me, so I don't have those to use anymore. But it was probably around 140 thousandths, I'm imagining. So it was under the eighth of an inch mark, which is still pretty stout on the blade stock thickness for what this is going to be used for. And it does come down to an exceptional, fine edge right there, thanks to that nice deep hollow grind right there. So we're looking at 4.2 ounces. So that's pretty good stuff right there. And that, does come into play with the steel frame of this thing. But it's really nice how they actually have, the line onlays on there, whatever you want to call it, their jig bone overlays they have on the steel there. It almost kind of reminds you of like a bolster lock, but you can see they have the relief cut on the inside of the handle there, on the inside of that scale. So that makes it pretty nice. I'm going to do a disassembly video of this thing too. This thing is definitely running on bearings. Has super smooth action. I mean, this blade isn't very heavy, and this thing is just falls right shut. And I can't get over how satisfying and nice that front flip is. Really do love the dual flipper tabs right there. Kind of reminds you of something like what the Corgi would have, the Boss D Corgi, if you guys are familiar with that knife. But this is a really good one. ergonomics are pretty good. You know, it's really just kind of like a flat slab, but it does a 4-finger, you know, grip for me. I have more of a, you know, medium to large size hand, and I really do like it. Hardware, we're looking at T6 everywhere for the clip, for the overlay sections right there on the onlays, and then we are looking at a T8 in the pivot. But it's just a real nice, classy knife. So let's go ahead and do some size comparisons. What about up against the Spyderco Delica? I think that'll be a pretty good one right there. And why don't we do the TRM Neutron 2? That's in that same kind of ballpark range. We're still a little bit smaller on that one. Let's go ahead and get rid of the Delica. How about the Benchmade Bug Out? This is going to be one that's going to be pretty close and everybody knows. So that's pretty much right at the money right there with the Benchmade Bug Out. And then why don't we do the ProTech PT Plus? So that's definitely going to be a smaller knife. This thing's pretty sweet too. I'm going to be doing a review on this one. Really have been, you know, really impressed by this knife right here. And why don't we can go ahead and do the Spyderco PM2 while we're at it, just for time's sake there. So definitely going to be a little bit smaller than that one. And I also did get this new one in when I ordered my last order through Blade HQ. This is the Civivi Scintilla. This was their kind of, I don't even know really, it's like kind of their exclusive deal. It wasn't even really not for sale, but if you spent so much on the website, they sent it to you for free. So it's a pretty cool knife. I'm hoping to do a giveaway with this maybe some point in time. It was just a pretty cool thing. I know a lot of the knife companies, or at least the manufacturers, not manufacturers, but resellers, Blade HQ and not River's Edge Cutlery, but who am I thinking of? Their Knife Center, all those people, they, you know, if you spend over $200, you got a free knife. And Knife Center, they did a pretty cool deal with, I don't know, I can't remember if it was a Kershaw knife or what it was, but it was definitely pretty cool. I think it was mini something Kershaw was doing, but regardless, pretty good actual size right there, though. That's kind of my go-to size. I like the smaller end of the spectrum when it comes to EDC knives for the most part. But overall take of this thing, I really do like it. I really do like the, you know, the room they give you on the actual, for the frame lock right there. Plenty of room to get into that lock bar disengagement and lock up, you know, overall lockup right there. You're getting more than 50% on that lockup, which is pretty impressive right there. There's no blade play up and down, side to side, no lock stick. And we got perfect centering on the actual blade itself right there. Really does nestle nice and deep down in there. And you can't even see any of the blade sticking out of the knife whatsoever. So it really does have a really nice clean silhouette to it. And this is a perfect, you know, gentleman's carry in my opinion. This is really nice. You can really class this thing up. And that titanium pocket clip really does make it look really nice. So Stephen, Dom, really do appreciate it. And thanks for all the support you guys have been giving me. I know they've given me a couple knives and I really do appreciate it. You know, people like you are what makes this channel go around. Don't have all the means in the world to get all the knives that I want, or I'd probably be broke without a house. So there you go. So I think that's going to be it for this one. Make sure you guys stay tuned in for the next episode. We're going to be doing a disassembly and maintenance video on this thing. Wouldn't hurt to go ahead and clean this thing up a little bit since I've been carrying it so much. So sadly, the Buckeye season is almost over for now. I don't know if you guys caught up with the big Michigan defeat or not, but that was a heartbreaker. So, but yeah, until next time, really do appreciate it. Thanks.